What is going on, Virgo? This is Chris Anthony coming at you guys again with a live reading for the sign of Virgo for November 15th through November 30th. This is going to be a general reading for you guys, Virgo. So if it does resonate for you, do me a favor, like, subscribe, share, comment, just to let me know that you're watching and you like what you see and hear. If it doesn't resonate with you, then I will catch you on the next go round. Maybe that one will resonate with you, or you could check out one of the other readings that I did for Virgo already for this month. This is going to be the wrap up for the month of November. I feel that the energies that came through that 1111 portal is definitely going to be carrying you guys through the end of the month and on into December. There's a lot of different changes that are happening planetary with you guys, Virgo. We have 8 planets in transit right now, which is crazy. So it's probably going to be a lot of crazy energy happening around this time, ending November, going into December. Plus, it's just a time of year for reflection, a time of year where we're wrapping up some things and thinking about what we're going to be doing going on into the next year. 2019 is already here, Virgo. What in the world is going on? How quick did the year go by? For me, it was extra quick. It felt like it was 6 months instead of 12 months. Probably felt the same way for you guys. But yeah, or for some of you guys, it could have been too long of a year. I don't know. We'll see. But let's get into your energy. So this right here is going to be your present energies, Virgo. So coming into the end of the month, this is how you could be feeling, or the energies that could be surrounding you. Let's start it off. So crowning your reading, Virgo, we do have the 9 of Swords, the dreaded 9 of Swords. So we all know this represents you kind of feeling anxious, having anxiety about thoughts that are happening inside of your mind. The great thing about this card is that it's all in your head, but that's easier kind of like said than felt, because I know when I feel this 9 of Swords type of energy, it's annoying because it keeps you up at night. It keeps you kind of like worried. It has to do, and it's linked to fear, so this could be your fear about the future, or just certain thoughts that you have been dealing with for a while. I know that this card also popped up in your weekly reading for last week, Virgo. And I was talking about how you guys were kind of going through an initiation, or the ending of an initiation that the universe have been kind of like putting you guys through when it comes down to your thoughts. And in your weekly reading, I was talking about how you were feeling this 9 of Swords energy, only because it was forcing you to have a kind of epiphany, aha, light bulb moment. That kind of will give you some insight into this feeling. So this could be the feeling that you're still coming with into the end of the month, coming into, the 15th, 16th, 17th with. But I do think that it's going to dissipate for you. You could just be worrying and thinking about some serious things that you kind of want to have go right for you in the future. You could be doing some planning, but just don't overthink it, Virgo. This is that card of kind of you overthinking it a little bit. And I do know that Virgos can be very analytical and logical in their thought. They could pick things apart, put it back together, take it apart again, put it back together again, or look at different scenarios over and over again, and just get excessive in your thinking. So this is a sign that kind of matches a little bit about what you do anyway, Virgo. I don't think this is foreign to you. You kind of like overthinking some things. I think that's something that Virgos do anyway. I'm a Pisces. We overthink also. So I feel your pain. The Pisces is on the other side of the spectrum. We are the complete opposite is what they say. So the Virgo is the opposite of the Pisces. But we connect when it comes down to thinking, because we both can overthink situations and think too much about them. So just don't overthink it, Virgo. If you are overthinking, then try to find a way that can kind of like balance that out. Let's see what's going on with the rest of your cards, Virgo. And sorry if I'm just extra calm right now, because I am just in chill mode right now, or that's what type of energy I'm feeling from you guys. But right below that Nine of Swords, we have the dreaded Three of Swords, Virgo. So you're coming into the end of the month like this, so this is just the energy that you could just be having coming in, but I don't think it's going to last that long for you. What you could be worried about could have to do with heartbreak, or it could be a matter of the heart that has you stressed out, feeling anxious about, overthinking, overanalyzing, excessive thinking about something that could, be hurting you or could have hurt you in the past. Um, it could have to do with a person that did something smug to you. This is the Five of Swords, is that card of somebody like being smug about something that they did. They had a victory over somebody else, but it was not an honorable victory. This is somebody winning by any means necessary and using, some of those things to win that just are not like, come on. These type of people right here, I don't like. For real. That's that shit I don't like. Don't like. So, yeah, but yeah, this could be a person that you could have been dealing with, that could have left you kind of like heartbroken a little bit, or in this place where you're feeling your emotional pains, you're feeling your the pains that are in your heart or your heart chakra, and then you just having to heal with that or heal from that. This is probably why you're in that those Nine of Swords type of thinking. But if you see all these things right here, even the Three of Swords it's swords. All of these three cards right here are sword cards, so that has to do with your thoughts. Which means that it's not actually happening in reality, or let's say if it is things like this that's happening in your reality, it's not as bad as you think it is. If it is a deep wound that you're dealing with and a deep wound that you're trying to heal from, I think that that's going to be coming in for you, just because I'm looking at your other cards that I haven't shown you yet. So it's some healing that you're probably having to deal with right now. Like I was saying in your other reading, I called your other reading the Dance of the Swans, because to me, for some reason, that phrase had to do with the type of initiation that's happening for you right now. I likened it to the movie Batman Begins, when Bruce Wayne was kind of first having his training, becoming like a League of Shadows ninja pretty much, or becoming Batman. He had to be initiated, and the way that he was initiated was that after he was trained and everything, they initiate him by giving him this serum, this type of serum that would make him feel extra anxious, extra fearful. It heightened the level of fear that a regular human has, and they gave him that. And then not only did they give him that, but they made him walk into his greatest fear, which was the fear of bats. And this was part of his initiation. They had to make him face his deepest fear in order to see if his training, as a ninja, his training as this person that was supposed to be able to defy human capabilities and human hangups. They wanted to see if he actually had developed into this new person. So they had to test him. So I think that's what's still going on, is carrying into your present energies. Virgo is just those wounds coming back to the surface, and you having to face them just to see if you have overcame them, if you have healed from them. So somebody could be triggering those different wounds, or life in general could just be triggering those deepest fears that you have, only so that you can see that you are not your fears and you can overcome your fears. You can use those deep fears and those deep anxieties that you have to your advantage, and not let them take advantage of you all the time. That's what Bruce Wayne learned. It's kind of like that Marianne Wilson quote: "Our deepest fear is not that we are." What is it? That's like my favorite quote, and I can't even think of it. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. And that's pretty much the gist of the quote. It is our light, not our darkness, that frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be powerful? Who am I to be brilliant? Who am I to be, you know, fantastic? Or who am I to shine this bright? And the quote kind of goes on to say, like, who are you not to be that? Like, you are a child of God. It's in our nature to shine as children do. And the more that we let our light shine, the more that others feel liberated. When they come around us, the more that we give others permission to do the same thing that we're doing, which is shining our lights and not being afraid to shine. So I think for you guys, that is a quote that is definitely something that you can feel right now. If you go look up that Marianne Wilson quote and you kind of read it over and over again, it's kind of like an affirmation that I definitely used at a certain point in my life when I was dealing with my fears and dealing with anxiety and dealing with, overthinking and overanalyzing and feeling these deep wounds and dealing with them and healing from them and seeing if I was overcoming them. That was a quote that kind of helped me out a lot. Like, our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, talented, gifted, fantastic? Who am I? Who are you not to be, though? That is the question. Who are you not to be? Like, you are supposed to shine. Virgo, and I think that's what's happening in this transformation. That's what's happening in this initiation that you guys are going through. You have to face your fears in order to step into this new part of life, to step into this new cycle where you become an idea instead of a mere mortal. Come on, Virgo, don't make me get deep with it, man. Because when Batman was training, I made a video about this like a long time ago, but I was talking about how Bruce Wayne was visited when he was inside of a jail cell, and he was kind of like searching for himself. He was trying to find himself. He was going through this type of moment, like with this, dealing with all his fears and his anxieties, and it was making him do all type of crazy stuff and go on this journey to find himself. And then his mentor appeared in his jail cell. His mentor was Ra's al Ghul, and Ra's al Ghul said to him in the jail cell, like, you need to become more than a man, because a man can be hindered and stopped and killed and die. A man can be triggered. Like this card is triggered, is all your triggers. A man has to deal with anxiety. A man or a woman. Mere mortal has to deal with all those different human characteristics that all of us go through and struggle with. But he was telling Bruce Wayne that if he became an idea, if he adopted an idea to live by, then he can transcend all those human hangups that we have, and he could become somebody that lives for an idea, And Ra's al Ghul was telling Bruce Wayne that an idea will live forever, And I think most of the people that become more successful in life and have a balanced life, have a harmonious life, they adopt certain ideas, core values that they take on, and they become those ideas instead of just becoming their small selves. Those cards, like this is all representing like the small self. When we look at ourselves and be like, who am I? I'm nobody. I'm just this person that has this hang up, and I have this type of anxiety, and I have these fears, and I have all these different challenges that I have to deal with. It's when you're looking at yourself from the little me perspective. But when you look at yourself from the big, I, it's kind of like you become more of an idea. You can start looking at life from a different point of view, have a different perception about life, and that's when your reality starts to change, because you become more of an idea. You can take on a representation of yourself, and that's what Bruce Wayne did. Not to talk about fiction so much, but we know that fiction has so much of reality based in it, and it teaches us a lot of lessons about life and psychology and human nature. But Bruce Wayne had to become Batman because he had to take on a symbol, and symbols can be used, to kind of like express certain things that can't be expressed through words, or can't be expressed on a certain level of logical thinking. Virgo, I don't know why I'm going there for y'all, but this is what's happening. It's kind of like when you take on a symbol for yourself, or when you ask yourself, what do I represent in this life? What do I want to represent to the world? It's kind of like you're taking on your energy signature. And once you transform into that energy signature, into that symbol, you transcend your fears, because the fears are just the doorway for you to transform into the symbol that you represent. If you see the initiation that I'm talking about with Bruce Wayne, he had to face his fears, but once he was able to face his fears, then he turned into the symbol, which is Batman. But he was tested first by his deepest fears, his deepest challenges. But in order for him to face him, he couldn't fight him just head on. He had to transcend into an idea. Come on, Virgo. You got to transform into that idea, you. The person that you see yourself as being. You have to focus on that and not focus on so much of the small thoughts that you're battling with. Your weaknesses that you have, yeah, they are weaknesses. We all have them. We all have hurts, wounds, and pains. But you start to transcend those by tapping into that part of you that's bigger than your weaknesses and your hurts and your pain. You understand? Like tapping into that symbol of yourself, which is your higher self. Like, let's go. Let's get deep. Batman's, Bruce Wayne's higher self was Batman. Like, Bruce Wayne was the lower self. It was kind of like him just being the mere mortal that he was. Is like, but when he tapped into his universal power, his universal energy, he became Batman. And Batman was the symbol of Bruce Wayne. It was the idea that Bruce Wayne lived by to transcend his human downfalls and his human hangups. So it's real when it goes that way. Sorry, I'm looking. I had to pause for a second because I heard a sound behind me. I'm like, what's going on? Maybe it's just this energy. But that's what Batman had to do. That's what Bruce Wayne had to do, because Bruce Wayne was not feeling who he was as a person. He was looking for a purpose. He knew that he was passionate about fighting criminals, and he was passionate about finding justice for people who had been dealt unjust cards in life. But he didn't know how to go about he didn't know how to do that, how to express his passions and his purpose for life, until he ran into Ra's al Ghul, and Ra's al Ghul kind of taught him how to, transcend from who he was as a person, from being this billionaire person who had lost his parents when he was a child, and blaming himself because his parents were murdered. He was traumatized. Like, Bruce Wayne was traumatized as a child, but him being traumatized led him on this journey of self-discovery, where he transcended all of that hurt and that pain, and he transmuted it and put it into a symbol, which was Batman. And he used his deepest fear, which was bats, to represent, a person that brought justice to his reality, that brought balance into his reality, into places that were very imbalanced. So, Virgo, that's what I feel is happening with you, and definitely that was all channeled. So, for some of you guys, that's what's happening, is just that process of you becoming your higher self, you connecting with your higher self, and yeah, that's what's happening. I kind of want to go deeper into it, but it could be a long video. But a lot of times during this spiritual path that we're on, this spiritual journey that we're on, we start to come into a place where we have to start fusing and becoming more of our higher selves instead of just communicating with our higher self or having certain flashes or thoughts that we kind of like get out of nowhere and we're like, where did that come from? Having insights that come in from our higher self or being led by our higher self, we start to transform into our higher self. Our higher self. Sorry, I'm country, so I'm saying higher self if you don't understand what I'm saying. Um, so that's what I think is happening for you, Virgo. And I know I just went on a long tangent. This video is probably going to be one of my longest ones for this month, but I have the energy to do it. So I kind of want to give you guys that message, Virgo. You're having a transformation to where, you know, you're merging your subconscious mind with your conscious mind. Like, for some of you guys, I would definitely have you to go look into Carl Jung. Carl, his last name is spelled Jung. It's either pronounced Chung or Young. But he talked about the process of the merging of the minds, the merging of the subconscious mind into the conscious mind. And I believe that's what's happening with you guys, and it's a journey for that to happen. And that's what happened, you know, with Bruce Wayne. He had to merge his conscious mind with the subconscious. Bruce Wayne was the conscious mind, and Batman was the subconscious. The subconscious always deals in archetypes and symbols. And you go through a whole process of facing your subconscious mind. And usually when you go down into your subconscious mind, you have to face a lot of fears and a lot of undealt with emotions, repressed feelings, your shadow side, your shadow self. And that's what was going on when Bruce Wayne was being initiated. He had to face his deepest fears, that was the symbol of him going into his subconscious mind and dealing with those repressed feelings and thoughts. And this is a journey that we all take. It's like the evolution of your mind, the evolution of humans. And in order to evolve, Virgo, we have to take on our fears. We have to face our deepest fears, go into our subconscious mind, and find out those gifts and talents that we have. Because that's what Bruce Wayne did when he was going through that training. You know, when he was going through this initiation, he had to go and tap into all these different gifts and talents that he had as a person. And this is what life does to us when we go through these dark moments, these dark night of the souls, this quest into the subconscious mind, and everything on the outside looks like it's falling apart, and we're stressed out and we're anxious and we're facing our fears. Is because we're tapping into those gifts that we have so that we can emerge from the subconscious mind back into the conscious mind with those gifts that we had buried deep down when we thought that we were inadequate. Like that Marianne Wilson quote talks about. We thought we were inadequate. And we were afraid of who we were as people, you know? How does the quote go again? Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. And that's what you're going to start figuring out, Virgo. I'm sorry, I'm stuck on one row of cards. Let's keep it moving, Virgo, so we can finish up your reading. I think your reading is already done, though, because this is what's happening, but we're going to go into the future energies, too. Nine of Swords, this is you just going through that whole process that I talked about and having your battle wounds because of it, having your stripes because of it, but you're still standing, you're still ready to fight some more, you know. And so that's the energy you're taking on with you after going through such a battle of the mind, such an initiation of the mind. You're kind of battle weary a little bit, but you're still able to fight. This is the person that's kind of like has been through it all, but they're still standing. This is you, Virgo. Like, let's go. King of Pentacles right next to the Three of Swords. This could be the energy that you're adopting, that you're transforming into. If it's not that, then you could have been dealing with an earth sign that, could have caused some type of heartbreak. Earth sign just like you, you know. Um, but for most of you guys, I think this is your energy. This is what you're taking on after the transformation. The King of Pentacles is a person that, has come to a place where they have some financial gains and they're comfortable in their self. They're comfortable and confident in themselves, and they come from a place of strength. This is a king. So whether you're a man or a woman, you're taking on a kingly energy. This could be you becoming Batman, you going through that transformation and developing into the person to where you can sit on the throne and be like, okay, I have been through battle. I have done everything when it comes down to the battling. And now it's time for me to rest in the fact that I know who I am, and I found out who I was through my pain and my hurt, and through transmuting that wound into something that I could use and I could use for my gain. I can capitalize off of my hurt. I can capitalize off of my pain. Like, is this some type of movie out like that or something? I know Kevin Hart had the Laugh at My Pain thing. I think he had another series that was named something else, but I know it's some type of movie out like that where it's talking about you capitalizing off of your pain. If it's not a movie, then this is just a true, what is the word? Gosh, I can't think tonight. But this is basically you just capitalizing off of your pain. Like, most people, that's what most success stories is about how people went through such traumatic things and painful things, but they transmuted it and transformed it into money. They transformed it into, their testimony, their story, and they could help other people out with their pain that they went through, because they went through so much trauma that it made them into such a strong person. Bruce Wayne, come on. Bruce Wayne had to be transformed into Batman, but he had to go through some crazy stuff before he could help so many people out. And that's not even just fiction. This is real life. Like, most people that help people out today went through the most traumatic things in their life. Like Oprah Winfrey comes to mind. I didn't even know until like a couple of years ago that Oprah Winfrey was being raped in her childhood by a family member. Like, that's what made her into the powerful woman that she is today. But in her childhood, she had to go through that trauma, like the pain of being betrayed by a family member and then being taken advantage of as a small child, and she was raped and molested. But then through that pain, through that emotional trauma, she built an empire, like, to help people out. So that's what's happening for you, Virgo. Like, let's go. Future energies, justice, 3 of Pentacles and the 8 of Pentacles. So the Justice card is the universe bringing in that balance. If you're coming in imbalanced towards the end of the month of November, you could be coming into some balance, because the universe is bringing in the balancing of the scales. The universe is bringing the sword in. This is a major arcana card, so this is universal energy coming in to bring you some balance within your thoughts and emotions. Virgo, justice could be coming in. That could be karmic. So you could be having some karmic payouts coming your way, or just the universe coming in and balancing the scales when it comes down to all of those heavy energies that you've been dealing with. Right below that, 3 of Pentacles represents you either coming into teamwork with some people, or you being elevated among your peers with your work. You could be being energized to work on certain projects that you have going on the side, or work on your business, or work hard at work. This is what the 3 of Pentacles is representing. These are future energies, so I'm kind of going through this for you. And then the 8 of Pentacles just kind of talks about that too. You being hard at work when it comes down to something you're passionate about. And this popped up also in your monthly reading, the Eight of Pentacles. So yeah, you're hard at work on your life's journey, your life's path, because that's what's being unwrapped for you through this initiation by the universe, this dance of the swans, like I talked about with you guys in your previous video. Go back and watch that weekly video that I made for you, Virgo. If you go to my channel, I made a weekly reading for last week for you guys, and it was called the Dance of the Swans. And I suggested that you guys also go and listen to that music. It's classical music by Tchaikovsky, I think his name is. And if you listen to the Dance of the Swans, I think for some reason it's going to like give you guys some type of epiphany, or just help out your energy. Also go read the Marianne Wilson quote like over and over again for the people that this kind of resonates with. I think that's going to help you out. But you're hard at work. That's what the outcome of all this is you're starting to get to work on that path of you becoming Batman. You becoming that symbol. You just wanting to do what you do in life, like what you were made to do, what you came here for. That's what the whole journey is about. You doing what you came here to do. And it hasn't been an easy path, but it's forcing you to get to work on something that you know you're made to do. So Virgo, that is your reading. That's where I'm kind of going to stop it, because I'm 30 minutes in and this wasn't supposed to be that long. But congratulations, Virgo, for you becoming this King of Pentacles and taking on that energy of the King of Pentacles and having that transformation into Batman. I might have to name this video Batman, but I doubt it. But yeah, Virgo, if you like that reading and my style of reading, let me know in the comments if it resonated with you, or just like, or just subscribe, or do all and share. I like it when you guys do that. And I'll see you guys in December.